Hello, friends. It's William here at Allegory Gallery, and I'm actually here at Allegory Gallery. That doesn't happen very often. Hopefully the stream goes well. I only have cellular internet up here, so I'm hoping we've done this before, and we rarely have too many issues, but you never know. Every day is a little bit different. My cell signal looks good. As far as I know, I've been streaming things today. I've had no issues, so I'm hoping that all goes well today. Um, let's see, who's all here with me? Susanna's here, says hello, everyone. It's raining here, looking great. Thank you. Yeah, my hair's doing this thing, almost like I feel like it's a 70s, 80s thing, like, whew, and I kind of like it. So thank you. Yeah, so hopefully the stream looks good and you can hear me okay. I don't know how it's going to continue, but most of the time, I think when I've done them up here, it's been fine. I do a lot of recording and broadcasting up here, and they seem to usually go okay. But let me know if the stream looks funky in any way. I've been working on a lot today. First thing I worked on was some lunch, which if you did not see, I posted some lunch from that I got over at our neighbors over at Jada's Jazz Cafe. And they make this amazing waffle, egg, and cheese. And normally they put like bacon or I think they have a turkey sausage or turkey bacon, something in there. I don't get that, obviously. But I put the cheese and the egg in the waffles. They do 2 waffles. So it's 2 full waffles with egg and cheese in between. And then they usually use a caramel sauce, but I like syrup. I was thinking caramel might be a little too sweet for me. I don't really have a huge sweet tooth. You know, if I'm going to go sweet, I'm going to go like Sour Patch Kids, like right to the pure sugar. Like this sweet and caramel, it's not so much my thing. So I went to the syrup, the maple syrup. And it was so good, but it was so much because it's really 2 waffles. So I ate half of it, which is a full waffle, egg and cheese. And then I have the rest in the fridge I'm going to take home. It's, you know, I don't know how it's going to be to reheat, but I'm going to do it tonight, and that's going to be dinner. But I wanted to go live today. It's been a slow day as far as people at the store. I've not had anyone come in today. So I figured I'd fire up the live and then wait for all the people to rush in because it gives me a good chance to hang out with all of you, but it also generally means that as soon as I get this set up and get rolling and we get into it, somebody's going to knock on that door. Now, I do have the sign up saying that we're away right now, but if somebody comes, just know I will probably pause the video and or disconnect and reconnect later, depending on what it is and how long it's going to take. So that could happen, but I have had no one up here all day long since 11 a.m. So chances are it's going to be a slow afternoon here. So I figured I would do this now and hang out with you all now a little bit earlier here in the day so that I can kind of just go home and do some things I will do. I need to do so much around the house. I have laundry to do. I have dishes to do. I have cleaning to do. I have cats to play with and take outside. They haven't gotten to go outside in a few days. So I'm hopeful that I can get this done here with all of you and then kind of go home and do some of that stuff that I need to do. So that's why I wanted to do the live now and see how it goes. So yeah, thanks for being here if you're here. Nancy's here, said played hooky from PT, having a bit of accelerated anxiety. I'm sorry to hear you're having anxiety today. That's always a terrible thing, but I hope you feel better. Let's see here. Nancy said the waffle situation looked amazing. It was. It was, and it's going to be tonight too. Hello, Sandra. Thank you for joining us. Says, hope you're feeling better today. I am. I still have tension, but it has not turned into a migraine. I was very careful how I slept last night. I built up pillows and I only slept like pretty much on one side. I turned to the other side and I felt it starting to hurt and pull, so I flipped back over. Um, I slept fairly well, but I was waking up a lot just to kind of get a feel for how I was, because I did not want to wake up with a migraine again. Um, so I have felt a little bit better today. I've been hydrating a lot today. I ate early, thinking that that could help if it's, um, but yes, so far, knock on wood. You might hear that. Our stand is making a lot of noise like that lately. I don't know why, but if you hear that, just ignore that. Let's see here. Suzanne says, I did my Friday laundry so I can sympathize. Yeah, Andrew did a bunch of laundry before he left, and I want to get it folded up. That's the main thing. And so I need to fold the laundry. I need to do the dishes. If I can fold some laundry and do some dishes, that might be as much as I do. I'll take the cats outside for a little bit. I have dinner already. I'm going to heat leftovers, and I think that's going to be as much as I try to push myself to do. I think we'll see. If I feel really good, maybe I'll do some vacuuming or something. Ooh. But for now, if I can get a little bit of laundry folded and do the dishes that are in the kitchen that are making me crazy right now, that'll be very good. I will take that as a win. Nancy says, enjoy the lives, but let's hope the store gets crazy and lots of sales. Well, if the store doesn't get crazy and lots of sales, let's hope y'all get crazy and make lots of sales, because I've got some specials for you today. I'm going to show you some gemstones. I'm going to show you some things I found in boxes in the back that I forgot we had. We never put back out after we moved here. There's some nice pendants and things. Maybe you'll like those. I don't know. But we started running a thank you sale in the online store. So everything in the online store, if you're not on our text message list, you haven't seen that yet because I've not shared it anywhere else. Only our text people have it right now. That's a little benefit of being on the text message list. And now here's the benefit of watching the lives. We are hosting a 20% off sale in the online store. I was thinking about, yesterday I was talking a lot about how thankful we are that Andrew can go around doing all the things that he does. And not only is that because of the scholarships that he gets, but it's because of all of you out there who support us and allow us to do this. So I wanted to have a little thank you sale in the online store. It's 20% off everything there. You can save using discount code thank you, just all one word, thank you. And everything there, 20% off right now. So, and that does also include, if you go up over $100, even though shipping prices have gone up, we have not raised, we talked about doing this, but we haven't done it yet. And we haven't raised our shipping minimum for free shipping in the US. So still at $100, you can get free shipping, even applying the discount, but it has to be $100 after the discount before the free shipping kicks in automatically in the online store. So if you go over $100, you can get free shipping, 20% off everything right now in the online store. Just use discount code thank you. That sale starts today. Yeah, it'll help me keep things going while Andrew's away, take a little bit of pressure off of me. And since we're offering the 20% off sale in the online store today only, and I'll run this through, I'll let people rewatch through the weekend, but that's it. Like, I can't go into Monday, Tuesday of next week because I'm leaving these things here. So for today only, and this weekend only for rewatchers, we are going to offer 20% off everything I show you here today. I'm not going to quote you the 20% off price because I didn't do the calculator math, and my calculator is my phone, which I'm using to stream to you right now. So 20% off everything I show you here today, and I probably should make a little banner. let me see if I have anything like that. I don't think we've ever done anything like that at that. We've done, okay, I have one that was 10%. So I'm going to change this one to now say 20% off lots today. And then we only did that for 24 hours. I'm going to say this weekend. Let's see. Why is it doing that? Let's see. This, sorry, it's bumping the screen as I type it. This weekend only. Done. Save. 20% off lots today, this weekend only. So you can save in the online store, and you can save on everything I'm going to show you today. I think that's going to hopefully give you an incentive to want to grab some stuff today. We always tell you that when we put things in the physical store, prices often go up, and so prices are often a little bit higher, and sometimes not even that much. And you'll see. But sometimes prices are a little bit higher if I have to do the work of cataloging everything and all that compared to what we offer on the lives. But a lot of times, like we generally don't think it's fair to offer them on a live at a certain price and then like jack them way up. So you're not going to see this crazy difference generally, unless it's something like we really severely underpriced or we really were giving a super discount that day. So getting 20% off of these items in store, we rarely have store sales. Usually the only time we have a store sale is Small Business Saturday or Small Business Weekend, and usually on like our anniversary dates. And we'll have a sale in store, sometimes not even on our anniversaries. So a physical store sale is rare. So getting these items that we put into the physical store is kind of a special treat, and I hope that you like it, and I hope you like what I'm going to show you today. Katrina is here. Hello, thank you for joining us. Glad to see you here. Have you been with us before, or are you new? I don't recognize your name right away. Suzanne says Hubs is having surgery Labor Day, so my attendance then will be spotted. Obviously, I hope everything goes okay. Hope all goes okay. Suzanne says, I feel guilty because I haven't been shopping the website, shopping the live sales. It's okay. Either way, we appreciate it all. But this, hopefully, I'm hopefully giving people the opportunity to maybe jump over to the website if you haven't been there for a while. We don't push the website very much, and that's kind of on us. We should do that a little bit more. I don't know why I don't. I think we're just so busy trying to do the live sales and keep up with that, and me keep up with shipping and keep up with any type of advertising we do, that I don't really push the website. But there's a ton of beautiful things on the website. So if you haven't seen the website in a while, hopefully you'll check that out, because there's a lot of good vintage stuff on there, a lot of good contemporary stuff, all that good stuff. Suzanne says, here comes Cinnamon. That's very cute. I love how Cinnamon likes listening to my voice, apparently. Knows when I'm on the live. That's so sweet. Sandra says, wow, how generous. Yeah, we really do. We want you to know how much we appreciate all of you out there. And our live viewers are some of our most, boisterous and firm supporters. And, we know we always say we're giving you good deals during the lives, and I think you know that we are. But this is kind of a way for us to do a little bit extra here for you today, and really show, because we don't do sales generally in the physical store very often. We don't want to be one of those stores that operate only on sales. It's kind of turning into what the online store is doing a little bit. If we don't have a sale, it's a little bit slow, and that's because we don't push it as much until we have a sale. Then we push the sale, so of course people go over and buy stuff. But I think if we pushed it more, people would just go over and buy stuff without having to have a sale. But we don't want that to happen to the online store. We don't want to, have to be the store that prices all the things so high and then like, oh, we're gonna have a 20%, 30%, 40% sale, and then that brings it down to what we would charge anyway. Like, that's ridiculous to me. I get the mental thing behind it. I get the psychology behind it, and it does work. I just don't like doing that. I think it's insane to think that I have to charge like $60 for a $20 strand and then wait until it's on 50% sale for people to buy it. It just doesn't compute to me. And then if somebody buys it during the normal time, it's like, I feel like I'm ripping people off. So we don't want to turn into that kind of thing. So that's why we don't have a lot of sales in the physical store. We don't want people thinking that they're going to wait for a sale. And, oh, they're going to have a sale next week. They always have a sale. Wait for the sale. It's just like whenever your favorite big box store, some of them have so many sales that even I do it. And I mean, that's why I understand the psychology of it. But you're like, oh, well, they have a sale like every other week. I'll just wait till it goes on sale. We don't want that because we can't afford that. We are not a big box store. We are a small business, and we can't keep doing that. We don't want to play the pricing games. And if the time ever comes where we absolutely have to survive, I don't know. Like, would I do that, or would we just close the physical store and do what we do online only? I'm not sure, really, because I don't like those games. Not for a space where it's supposed to feel inviting and welcoming and all that. So, and that's what we want all of our spaces to feel like, whether it's virtually or in person. Kimberly's here. Says, mainly listening today because I am in a deep hole with my day job. You always are. You always are working hard at that day job. Sanders says, it really is a lot of work to put pieces online. It is. People do not get it. First, you have to get the product, right? And that's hard enough. You either have to make the product, get the product, clean up the product, whatever it is you do for your product, it has to be ready for pictures. And then you've got to spend the time to get the right pictures. You need to get those close-ups. If they sparkle, you need to try and catch the sparkle. If there's a chatoyance, you want to catch the chatoyance. Like, it is a lot of work to get just the right pictures. You got to color balance the pictures, usually afterwards, because generally that they're not perfect when they come out of the camera. So you spend time in your photo editor and you color balance the photos. And if you're taking videos, sometimes we take videos of our more higher end strands. You've got to edit all those videos, strike out the sound, and you have to, change all the settings that you would in a photo as well. So you do all of this work just to prepare the photos. Then you've got to measure everything. And if you're doing them one at a time, then, and that's what you have to decide. Are you going to do these one at a time? Or are you going to measure everything and jot down notes and mark them on their bag, put them in a bag, and then add them to the online store all at once? Or are you going to do the measurements in between? It's kind of like, are you batching it out, or are you getting products that you can release right now, right? You got to just make that decision. And then, so you get all the measurements, then you type out all the descriptions, you type out all the titles for each piece. And our titles follow, I'm trying to get our titles in our website to follow a particular formula. Sometimes I follow it myself, sometimes I'm not great at it. But generally, there's a particular format that we use that tells you what the strand is. It's like a size, shape, color, and it's supposed to always be like size, shape, color, like, or color, shape, size. There's a particular way that we do it so that things look uniform, and the title gives you a lot of information about the piece without you having to go down into the description, but we still write it all in the description as well. So we do kind of that double work. So you're inputting all of that information. You've got to input your pricing, your costing, your vendor. You've got to tag it with everything. I'm getting exhausted just thinking about it. This is why things don't always get into our online store as quickly as I'd like. If they're gemstones, for example, say it's a garnet. Okay, what kind of garnet? First, you tag it with gemstone. Then, so it gets in the gemstone collection. Then you tag it with garnet. So if people search garnets, there's a better chance it's going to pop up with garnets. And then, after you tag it with garnets, then is it hessonite garnet? Is it another kind of garnet? So then you tag it with what kind of garnet it is. Sometimes we tag it with the cut, if it's an irregular cut or if it's a special kind of cut. We don't generally tag it too much with sizing. I know some businesses do. They tag their stones by sizing. We put that in the description because we don't offer like a whole range usually of things, so it's not as important. But sometimes we do. You know, and then after all of that. You put your vendor in, then you got to categorize it. And how's it going to show up in the online store? And make sure that it's going to the right collections. And so there is a lot of work that goes into putting things, as Sandra said, online. And that is why oftentimes the price goes up a little bit, because it's a lot of work for us to do it as store owners and as business owners. And so doing that work takes time from us, and so we have to account for that time in some way, and that's usually by a slight price increase on our side. Plus, you know, I also forgot, everything has to be weighed. Every single piece that we do gets put on a scale so that whenever it tallies it up for you, it has an accurate shipping estimate, because once you pay that shipping, I don't charge you more, right? So if I have a mistake and I didn't put the right weight in, if I put it too low, then I get charged extra shipping when I ship it on my end, because we give you the commercial shipping amounts. We don't charge you what you would get charged at the post office. We actually pass along our commercial shipping amounts to you. So that means if I'm wrong and I go higher when I actually pack it up, then that also means I lose money. So there's all this stuff that goes into putting it online. So that's why we like these live shows, because there's less of all of this that has to be done. I show it on camera right as we're doing it. You get it on video, which is even better than photos. I don't have to worry about taking the perfect photo and putting it in the video editing software. I didn't even mention that you have to export the photos and change all their sizes, because you want the online store to be fast. So you can't just export your photos in any way and throw them into the online store, because it'll slow your store down. There's all of this that goes on. And so that's why, you know, the lives take a lot of energy. They take a lot of time sometimes, but they are one of the easier ways for me to do things, because I like this way. This way is easier for me. Some people would rather sit in a room, take pictures, and post things on the online store, and that's fine. But for me, this is more comfortable. I would go a little bit loony sitting in a store or sitting in a room just doing photos for the online store, I think. I'd rather be talking with people and chatting and showing stuff this way. Let's see here. Katrina says, I have usually working, so I miss the lives. I'm sorry you missed them, but I'm glad you're here today. Diane says, hello, I will catch you on the replay. I have to go to the store. Okay, Diane. Make sure you watch, though, because if you're still even here, that was 10 minutes ago. But we do have a good discount today, so make sure you catch it. Suzanne says, oh, yes, you do give great deals. I think we do, and I think sometimes they're, I think, a little too good. I don't want to say that because, you know, we're always happy to do it, but sometimes I think we shoot ourselves in the foot with some of the deals we give on some things. But, you know, we do have a lot, and we are fortunate to be abundant in that way. And so whenever we can pass along a good deal, we definitely try to do that for you. Sandra says, the right light for photography, so much work. That making product descriptions and pricing, so much time, right? It is. It's all so much. It's all so much. And you know, we have the lighting system at Star Cottage Studio. We have probably 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6, maybe not 15, 6 or 7 different lights probably at Star Cottage Studio that I use. And if I go over there and take pictures, it's almost as good really as being in the daylight. I have tried so many of those little picture cubes and lighting systems, and you know, they don't work for everything. Um, and some of them are very difficult to use. Some of them are either too small or too big and the light doesn't reach, or the light is too bright. And so we finally got a setup that I feel like I can use, and I can get fairly color accurate photos when I'm there. That being said, I don't like to always spend my entire time sitting at that photo table doing that kind of work. And so, and if I'm at the house, I don't want to just drive up there. If I want to put 5 things in the online store, I don't want to drive 15 minutes each way to the cottage to take a few pictures of a few things. So I have to do it outside in the daylight, usually on the porch. You can't have direct sunlight. You have to have diffused sunlight. It's a whole thing. So there's a lot that goes into it. And that all being said, it's so much easier to do these lives for me. Some people hate doing lives. Some people, it's not their thing. They're uncomfortable with it. They don't want to be on camera with it. And that's perfectly okay. But for me, you know, adding things to the online store is a lot harder and takes so much more time than just sitting here and chatting with you all. Now, we do this for 2 to 4 hours most nights. And in 2 to 4 hours, yes, if I could sit myself down and for 2 to 4 hours just focus on adding things to the online store, I could probably add just about what we show in the online store. Not include, like, I'd have to take the chat time to do that. So the full 2 to 4 hours that we spend on the lives. So that means I would make no connections with people. It would use all of that time to add the 30 or 40 lots to the online store. And the nice thing about that, though, is that once they're in there, for better or worse, right? When we do these lives, you know, people generally don't rewatch. We look at statistics. Generally, people don't rewatch much more than a few days after a live. You're not going back to last week and checking it out, generally. Some of you do once in a while if you really know you missed a time span of things. But generally, most of our, 2,000 some people on YouTube, for example, aren't going back and watching 2 weeks ago. Thank goodness, because I usually empty the lots back and they get resorted. But we would try and make it happen if somebody did. So, but the things would be in the online store. They could always be there until they sell. That also means they're kind of trapped in the online store world. Very rarely do I pull things out of the online store to show them here. Every once in a while we do a recap or something like that and show you the things from the online store. But once they're in the online store, they're sequestered in their own world. And that's what a lot of the stuff up here also is it's now in its own world. And so when I do these lives from the store, this is the one time that I actually get a chance to show you all some of the more fun stuff that we do still have up here that we may have never shown you before. We showed you once and then they came up here and migrated up here. And you may not have seen that, or you may have missed that. So this is, I think, a good opportunity. I have some nice gemstones tonight. I've got some turquoise. If you all like turquoise, I'm going to give you some good deals on some turquoise strands, some old Hubei, beautiful turquoise. I've got lots of gemstones I think I've got some at the 6, 7, 8 millimeter sizes, all the different sizes. So hopefully you'll like that. And we're doing 20% off everything today. I'm going to quote you the retail price. You can figure the 20% in your head if you want to. I'm not going to show you the 20% price. I'm going to leave this down here though, so that you know that you will get 20% off when I send the invoices. If you don't on your invoice, before you pay, let me know that I forgot to take off the discount. But I usually copy invoices. So once I copy it, the first time. As long as I get it right the first time, I should be able to get it right for everybody. So that's that. Danette is here. Hello, Danette. I did get your email about your address. Thank you so much. That is in my brain. I've had a few people move recently, and so I've been working on making sure that the online system gets the right address during the right dates. So I have you on the list for that. And that's what's going on here, y'all. Andrew made it to New Jersey when we were live yesterday. He started teaching his class today, so that's awesome. I have not heard how it's going. He showed a picture of his dorm room that he gets to stay in. He showed me that, and then he posted it online. And that's all that I have heard really from him since he got there. So he was up bright and early, I think, today. I was up a little bit early, but not as early as him probably. He probably got his day started before me with his students and just prepping for all that. So I think he starts teaching today, and I think he also has his teacher presentation tonight, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So he will be giving a presentation tonight about himself and his life and what brings him to this kind of craft. So I'm not going to talk too long because I do want to show you a number of things here today. It's going to be it's going to be the same process, but for me on this end, it's going to be slightly different. So in order to facilitate that, I'm going to get started a little bit earlier to give me a little bit more time. Hopefully we'll get out of here, by about 5:30 or so. We'll end the live is my goal. We'll see. I think that's pushing it. It's probably going to be more like 6, but I was hoping to leave here on time around 6. If anybody comes into the store during this time, like I said, that's going to change everything. And if somebody does come into the store during the live and it's going to take a while, I will probably cut the live off and then we'll resume probably tomorrow, actually. So we'll just do a part 2 tomorrow. So if you missed the news, sell in the online store, use discount code THANKYOU to save 20% off everything in the online store. Every lot today that I'm going to show you has 20% off today. That price is good for this weekend only. I will not carry the 20% discount past this weekend for in-store items, for this live's items, because I won't have them. I have to take them from the store here before Sunday night. Before Sunday at 6 when I leave here. I have to have everything gathered up. So that is the absolute last time for you to claim anything from this live. And if this live continues into tomorrow, from that live too. Now here's something I wanted to ask you all. I was thinking about hosting, some of you are members of our Project D-Stash group. And what I was thinking of doing, it kind of came to me this morning. I was going to host a D-Stash in the Design Challenges group. And we don't generally like to sell in that group. We don't want it to be made into a seller's group, but we have a lot of people in that group who do not participate much. And what I was thinking is if I hosted a kind of D-Stash event in that group, it might get people reinvigorated in that group, because we would be doing lots of different lots. I would be asking questions. And then what I would do is if, kind of at the end of that or during that, I would push people over and say, if you like what we're doing here, we don't do it here generally. So go ahead over to the D-Stash group. And if you are a good standing member, we let you into the D-Stash group. So I've been thinking about doing that, and I might do that this weekend and kind of make it a thing in the Design Challenges group. I am on the fence. So that's why I was asking, for those of you who are in the Design Challenges group, what do you think of that idea? Like I said, I'm on the fence. I don't want that group ever turning into something like I feel like we're selling all the time in. Although we do sell, we do share these videos to it. and we do post new products and new things into it. We just don't do timelined sales like that. But I think there are a lot of people in that group who I was hoping we could kind of get to kind of participate a little more if we got some really kind of energy going with a sale in that group, that people might decide to, start taking part a little bit more. And we might find either more people for the lives, more people for the D-Stash group, or actually more people just, commenting on other people's things in the group and make new friends. If they realize during the sale that we have nice people in there and they want to make friends, because we do ask questions. If you've never been in one of our D-Stashes, every 5 to 10 lots, we ask a question in the group. And that helps keep things broken up. It helps keep things flowing. It helps, it not feel like it's completely all about sales, because we're learning about each other. We're getting to know each other a little more. People can comment back and forth. And I thought maybe having that kind of energy in the Design Challenges group for a day or two might be nice. I'm still thinking about it. I haven't even talked to Andrew about it because it occurred to me this morning. I don't think he's going to care either way because he's gone. But I just thought maybe, we do it once and be like, okay, if you like this, now go over to the D-Stash group if you like this kind of thing. But also the friends you've made here, let's all stay in touch and let's comment on everybody's thing. And let's do where we share something you've made recently. So I'm considering it. But I don't know what everybody thinks. Would people be offended if I start doing a sale in that group? Because it's not technically the spirit of that group, but it's not also out of the realm of what we kind of already do, because we do show things for sale. So what do you think? What do y'all think? Sandra says, my problem with the D-Stash group is I never get notified until it's over. Yeah, it used to be a lot easier when we had a certain day for that, and that made things easier. That happens a lot. And I've been trying to let people know here on the lives that we're going to have a D-Stash. I've been trying to be better about that when I know I'm going to do one, but it's still, I know it's a thing. We have a few people that happens to. There are some people that get those notifications like right away. And I try to tag using like everybody, the everybody group tag and things like that, but it doesn't always work. And that's not something that we can actually do much about, unfortunately, other than possibly maybe sending an email out, but then not everyone checks their email. And, it's one of those things. So I don't know. I don't know. There's no, Facebook, you have a business, Sandra, you know what it's like. There's no way around it really, other than to have a very specific day, and then everybody forgets the day. That's when we have posted that we were having our, the make-alongs, the creative make-alongs on Zoom. We've had that calendar out for months, and people still forget. Oh, today was the day. Oh yeah, I forgot. I send an email out before each and every one of those, generally that day, or the day before. Oh yeah, I didn't check my email. So no matter what you do, it's not going to catch everybody, unfortunately. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Suzanne says, I check the D-Stash group daily. Well, thank you. I wish I could do something in there daily. I just don't have the the wherewithal to do it all. But I will be having a D-Stash event soon. I am thinking, that's why I'm thinking about this group thing. Tomorrow is either going to be in the Design Challenges group, or it is going to be in the D-Stash group. I'm going to do something in one of the groups tomorrow night, probably starting around 8 or 9 o'clock. We always do start them late, but it's also because I'm at the store and it takes me time to get home, and I try to get things a little bit together before that. So yeah, tomorrow is going to either be this event, this new event in the Design Challenges group, or a regular event in the D-Stash group. So we'll see. I'm letting you all know now. Yeah. Suzanne says, I'm not expecting daily action, but the burden is on ourselves. I hate that is. I wish there were a way that we could let you know more easily, and that, if we tag everyone, everybody gets the notification, but they do not. So I appreciate that. I'm very thankful that you do that. Kimberly asks, the community make along or the creative make along is next Friday, right? Yes, it's on the 22nd. The other thing I did today is I scheduled out the next 4 lives for next week. I just called them generic, Allegory Gallery Live. They are on Facebook as events. They are on YouTube as upcoming live shows if you go to our YouTube channel. So that way I want to test to see if we get more viewers by putting out even generic events. Like normally we try and tailor our event by like, it's Random Day with William, or it's Gemstone, or Check Glass Day. And I don't know that far in advance what I'm going to do, but I am trying to see if by putting them out there up to, like, this is about a week in advance for some of them, if it will hit more people, if the algorithms will let more people see it. And so this is my little test. I scheduled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I did not schedule anything for Friday because if I do a live on Friday, which I might, it has to be during the day and it has to be here in the shop while I'm in the shop. So I don't want to put up a time to say I'm doing that if I can't possibly make it. If I have a customer, for example, it's going to have to be a day like today where I feel like, maybe I can do that. So we'll see. But yeah, I did that, and hopefully that will help have more people see that we're going live. Each one is also time-stamped. So I had planned Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday to be at 7:30 p.m., I believe, and Wednesday to be at 3 p.m. So that hopefully will give people a better idea of when we're going live next week. And if that works, we'll probably try to keep up with even the generic, at least so that people can see we are going live and get used to us going live. And then we can still tailor things, but you won't kind of know until we get there. I'm kind of, we could plan out maybe what we were doing, but I'm kind of like, I think the fun of it is seeing the things kind of a little bit more random, like, or seeing the things like just finding out it's Gemstone Day. I don't know, maybe I also don't want people being like, oh, I don't want to look at gemstones today, I'm not going to watch it all. So I don't know, because I think it's more than about that part of the show. It's getting together and chatting here and having fun and talking and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want people missing out on some of that in the community time just because they don't want to watch Check Class, for example. So I think the generic is good. Sometimes I feel like I wish I could theme everything, but we are not. I don't have that kind of structure right now to be able to plan that too. We're kind of a little bit more off the cuff that way, which I think is more fun. I prefer that over some kind of very structured, schedule. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. But those are some of the things I did today, some of the thinking I've been doing, and trying to implement some of this stuff to see how it works out. Because you have to play with these things because everything changes like every week. Sandra says, I saw that on YouTube. It came up on the main page of YouTube when I logged on. Oh, good. Good. I hope that does it for other people too, because then maybe more people will hang out with us. That would be nice. I would like that. Since we do make the effort of doing these every weekday, it would be nice if we got more people hanging out and made friends and grow the community a little bit. We love the people who come every day, but every once in a while having some new people in and getting to make new friends. That's really what it's about, right? We don't want to be exclusive. We want to be inclusive, and we want new people to come in and feel welcome and make new friends and all that. So, all right. So that's that. That's what's going on here. I'm going to flip the camera around because it's getting late, and we're going to take a look at some of the stuff I found for you all today. All right, let's do it. Now this is a different stand that I have today. So this one is always a little bit tricky for me. So let me figure out what I'm doing here and make sure my camera is looking the right way and I'm seeing the right things. There we go. We don't need to see my juice bottle. There we go. Let's turn on my light. I've got a light on this one. That is the nice thing. This one has a pretty nice light. I have to get out my bags. I am, this part always, when I do these lives from here at the store, this part always makes me so nervous because I'm tearing apart my trays. I have all my trays, like, just to show you, like, of course we're a store, so we have all these trays so prettily put together, and I'm going to be demolishing them for the live. So I'm going to try not to demolish them too much, but I will be. So we'll see how this goes. It almost makes me cry a little bit because I know I have to put them all back together at some point later. Okay. I'm going to call these ISL, in-store lots. So, hello, Susan. Thank you for joining us. It's what a pleasant surprise to find you here. You too. Glad you could join us. I'm going to put the ticker down here to purchase from this video, take down each lot number. It's going to be an ISL, in-store lot. Hopefully that doesn't stand for anything bad, right? I'm always worried, especially with 3-letter ones. I'm like, that doesn't stand for anything bad, does it? ISL 1, in-store lot, and put that in the subject line of an email, address that email to info@allegorygallery.com, and then hit send. If you're wondering why I have this large piece of driftwood, that is because it color corrects things for me. I use that on most of our photos, or a version of that. If you notice our online store photos, a lot of them have that because it color corrects really well. And I don't have to do as much color correction later. All right. Anybody have any questions before we get started? I have a question. Where's my ruler? I wish I had calipers here, my digital calipers, but I do not. So most of these tags, thankfully, probably say, because I try to make sure they do, but if they're older, they may not. Okay, we're going to start with these. This is a blue chalcedony round, and this is $27 for this strand. Now remember, you get 20% off the price, 20% off the price that I show you here. All right. Kimberly says, are you going to show the scarabs? I can, but I was going to just take pictures of those and send them to you first so that you get first dibs. But let me make sure. Now, let me just, while I'm thinking of it. Okay. Well, I have much fewer of those than I thought. I only have one. I have one lonely scarab. I thought I had a bunch of them at the store here. I must have sold them, or else maybe Andrew did take them for his collection. But I have that one. That's it. It's $6. If you want it, Kimberly, you can send me an email. Sorry, I thought I had a lot more of them, but I don't see them. I'll have to check around and make sure I didn't move them somewhere else too. So I will continue looking this weekend for you. Sandra says, all the cats are here. Sweet Pea is here too. Let's see here. And I'll also give you the 20% off of that too, Kimberly. So just go ahead and do that. Anybody else want anything different? If you request anything here at the store this weekend, I'll give you all 20% off of anything up here this weekend only, just for you live viewers. Since I'm doing this anyway. So these are a really nice grade blue chalcedony round, 6 millimeters, was $27. It will now be 20% off. ISL1. There is only one of these available. Only one of these available. He says, I will take it. I will email you. If you find more, let me know. Will do. Sounds great. Thank you. Next up. ISL2. This one. Whoa. Ah! Ah! $34. $34. And the also the reason some of these prices are much higher is these are more contemporary strands. They're not vintage, so sometimes we don't get the same price breaks all the time. We still have very good prices, I think, on these. This is a AAA grade strand of beautiful labradorite. 6 millimeter labradorite strand, about 15.5-inch strand. Here you can see all the details. AAA grade labradorite bead strand, smooth round, 6 millimeter, 15.5-inch strand. Really beautiful quality, beautiful stones, and you get those for the 20% off price. There's only one strand of these available. This is the strand. You are seeing it here. I have no more hiding. If you buy it, you will get that strand. And if you need me to show you anything or show anything again, or you have any questions about something, let me know and I'll try to answer. What's up next? We're doing the 6 millimeters first, because I know some of y'all have been looking for 6 millimeters. I have one strand. I'm going to put one so that even I know there's only one, not to look for more later in my trays. ISL3. This is a fancy jasper bead strand, smooth rounds, 6 millimeters. This is a beautiful deep, deep green and red fancy jasper, 6 millimeter smooth rounds. $14 a strand, 20% off today, this weekend only if you catch a replay. I will keep that price, that 20% discount through the weekend for you all. And if there's something that you've ever seen in our store videos, when we do store tours or any of my promotional little videos, and you're like, I would like it for 20% off, for the live viewers out there, I'm not going to advertise this. But for the live viewers, you can get 20% off anything in the store this weekend only. All right, next up, I have 3 of these. Oops. I've got 3 of these. They are $32 a strand. And these are AAA grade green garnet, smooth rounds, 7 millimeters. 15.5-inch strands. Beautiful AAA grade green garnet. Really high quality stones. Really pretty colors. Check those out. And I've got a ring light, so that's why everything's got rings. You can see the moon shapes on the beads. That's from this ring light here. But beautiful colors. These go really well, for example, with those. Nice blending of color there. You can see the two different colors, really two different colors of green. Oh, we sold ISL 3. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and put that away since I've only got the one. All right. I need to make myself some room. I was doing some pre-packing over here. Make some room for some things. All right, let's move this over and let's see what this next strand is. All right. Ooh, this is a good deal too. Let's see here. ISL 5. And this is only $26. That's a good deal after you take the 20% off. ISL 5, there's only one of these. Again, I'm going to put a 1 here. This is a really nice tourmaline round. These are 7mm tourmaline rounds. Deep, deep, beautiful color in these. Nice stones in this. Really pretty colors, deep colors. These are rich and saturated tourmaline. One strand of these available. $26, one strand. That's ISL 5. Next up. Oh no, let's not make more than enough than I need to in my tray already. All right, there are 3 of these available. We just sold ISL 5. Thank you so much. Kimberly says, I saw the ring light reflection. It was like, how did they get a crescent moon on the stone? I said, oh, it's the light reflection. Yeah, that's what I tried to warn you. That's the light reflection. Because it's the ring light. I've got the ring light here. It's the brightest light I've got up here. It's the only light I've got up here. So I have to use it. I think it does produce colors. It shows colors pretty well, but it is definitely a little different than what we normally use. And this is Super 9. I do not see Super 9 very often. Usually it's Super 7. I have tried looking up Super 9. I don't know what exactly is all in the Super 9 from this vendor, but these are beautiful stones, and they're smooth rounds, 16-inch strands, $24, 7mm strands, and they are really, really pretty. Like, look at those stone colors. They are just a beautiful thing right there. And so rich, like even the reds and blacks in those are just so rich in color. These are really high-end stones, beautiful stones. Like, can you imagine taking just like these ones all from this strand and making a bracelet out of them? Like, I think that would be killer. or maybe mixing the reds with the blacks and making a bracelet together. Just magnificent stones. And these are $24 each before your discount. I do have 3 of these available. ISL 6, 7 millimeter. And then, oh, this is nice. This is not a cheap date, but that discount makes it so much better on the wallet. This is a $52 strand. And this is some beautiful, this is AAA grade fluorite faceted rounds at 6 millimeter. Look at those babies. AAA grade fluorite, faceted rounds, 6 millimeter, stunning beads. Beautiful fluorite. Sandra, I know you're running a special on some fluorite things right now. I saw your, I think it was this morning, I think I saw your email, or maybe it was yesterday. I thought it was this morning, but my days are all coming together. Beautiful, beautiful fluorite. 1 strand available. That's all I've got left of this one. $52 before your discount, which would be what, $10.40 off? That's pretty nice. Pretty nice discount. All right, let me put one away to make some room. One is the blue chalcedony at $27 for the 6 millimeter strand. Sandra says, yes, this morning it ends at midnight. I thought so. See, I try and keep up with people. I try. I don't always do my best. I don't know if Michelle's here, but it's Michelle's birthday today. So if you are out there, Michelle, happy birthday. We're thinking about you. Hopefully you're having a great day. This is the labradorite, ISL 2. Three and 5 have sold. Let me take 4 away as well. 4 is the AAA grade green garnet. AAA grade green garnet rounds for $32. Less 20%. Remember, you get 20% off on your invoice. I'm not showing you the 20% off price. I'm showing you the retail. The invoice will come with an additional 20% off of these prices. Oops. Okay. ISL 8. This is a cut. I think this is the only strand of this cut we have left. These are a faceted, we call them barrels. They're more of a lantern. They're a 7 millimeter lantern in agate. So $24, agate faceted, we said barrels. They're kind of like a lantern, but this is a beautiful shape. ISL 8, only $24, less your 20% after. We just sold 1 of 6 and we sold 7. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Energy stones, right? We like energy stones. The fluorite is a good energy stone, right? All right, I'm going to take 7 away. 6, we still have 2 of them remaining, but we've sold 1 of them. And I'm going to move 8 over. I just have that 1 of that left. And let's see what I've got here. We're going to go up in size a little bit and then a little bit back down. This one's kind of in the middle of the tray, but I'm just going left to right or right to left in the tray. ISL 9. This one only starts at $16.25. I did not write that correctly. I've seen that stone shape called energy stone. Oh, I have not seen it called that. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's new to me. I've not seen it. I can understand why. That's a good name. This is a Brazilian Amazonite at 10 millimeters. It's a really nice, large, and it's a really pretty color. Like, it has really nice color to it. It's not super dark, but it's got some of the blues, some of the greens, like the lighter kind of blue-green, as well as some of that kind of yellow and brown. It's really, really pretty. Like, look at that one. That's like a robin's egg blue right there. But really nice strand of Brazilian Amazonite, 10 millimeter. Nice large stones if you're making men's bracelets, for example. It's a nice size. It's a really nice size. Sandra says, they say the energy goes side by side through the stone. Nice. Susan says, I've also heard it called Art Deco shape, but I prefer energy stone. Yeah. Who doesn't want an energy stone, right? I'm going to call that energy stone. Energy stone from now on, because who doesn't want an energy stone? Heck. Although aren't all stones energy stones, really, right? ISL 10. Let's see, what's next? I've only got 1 strand of this left, too. This is super nice. I love it so much. These are 24 for the strand. Sandra says, give me all the energy. I know, right? I'll take it all. ISL 10. Oops, I forgot. I need to put 1, 1, 1, just so that I don't question myself later. This is carnelian. Look at these beautiful carnelian smooth rondelles. That says mix. It's supposed to be matte. Carnelian matte smooth rondelles. These are approximately 5 by 8 millimeters. And check out those. Aren't those yummy? So nice. 8 is agate, Sandra. Askim's 8 barrel. 8 is an agate. It looks like blue chalcedony to me, but it's marked agate, and I don't want to, because that probably would have come from our vendor. So I don't know. I'm going to stick with agate just because that's what it says. I can't remember if blue chalcedony is technically a type of agate. I think, is that right? So it might actually be that. But here's the carnelian. I don't think chalcedony is an agate, right? It's different. It's a different makeup. And this doesn't have the same kind of glow as you would get with the chalcedony necessarily. It's still a really beautiful stone. It almost looks like aqua. It does look like kind of a low, if it would be a lower quality aqua maybe. Like not the deep, deep blue or the transparent, but it's really pretty. It reminds me more, like I said, of blue chalcedony than anything. So if you're pairing it with things, it would look good with blue chalcedony because it looks similar. But I mean, just in general, it's really pretty. It's a nice light shade of blue. And this, Sandra says, blue chalcedony can be an agate, but not always. See, that's what these stones. I don't know all of that makeup stuff, and I really should learn more about it. But this strand delights me. That's why I'm sitting here showing it so long, because I keep looking at it. It just glows so well under the light. And it's only $24 for those matte rondelles. Another thing that's great is a bracelet. And carnelian has that beautiful grounding energy. You know, that fall grounding energy, that autumnal equinox energy that we're all waiting for. Well, not all of us, but many of us are waiting for. Let's see what's next. How about some sapphires at a really freaking good price? Wow. Okay. Sure. $55 for a whole strand of sapphires. What could go wrong there? This is why we don't always give 20%. These were not priced to give 20%, but I'm going to do it anyway. Suzanne says Halloween is life, right? At Halloween time. These are blue-gray sapphires, faceted rondelles, 8 by 5 millimeters. 8 by 5 millimeters, only $55 before the 20%. Look at those sapphires. They're a nice blue-gray. They tend to err on the grayer side, which is kind of nice. I do have 2 strands of these. I hate to even say that I have 2 because selling them at that price is a little bit hard, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to be bold. And hopefully Andrew doesn't get too upset if I sell the sapphires at what, 40 some dollars a strand. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Beautiful sapphires, faceted rondelles, 8 by 5 millimeters. These are, whoops, I don't have the strand length, I don't think, written on here. Let me check these for you. They're a little bit, these are 14-inch strands. That makes me feel a little bit better. 14-inch strands. There they are. 2 strands of those available, ISL 11. All right, I'm going to put 6 away. Waiting for your blue sapphires, which were a great deal, if I remember correctly, says Sandra. They were. You got a really good deal on those. These are a really good deal, too. These just aren't as blue, for sure. These are more of a gray blue. Suzanne says frozen. Yeah, this is, I love it. Oh, I love those so much. This is getting into definitely that the winter making, but just I keep going back to bracelets because I'm on this bracelet kick. I want to make myself a bunch of nice bracelets. Just imagine that with some gold spacers or silver spacers if you prefer. I'm on a gold kick right now. Maybe mixed spacers, gold and silver. Just lovely. And then if you think you can't try, like you could get at least probably 2, definitely 2 bracelets out of that. It's 7 inches, right? It's a 14-inch strand with spacers. You could sell each one of those for more than what you pay for the strand, for sure. That's how you make money, right? You gotta pay, you gotta charge more than what you pay. Everybody knows that. I feel guilty doing that. So like it's so hard for me to do, but that's what business is, charging more than what you pay, right? And everybody knows that's the deal. That's how things work. All right. ISL 12. I'm going to finish this box of gemstones, and then we're going to go on to some of the little charms I have, and then we'll go on to some turquoise, and then I think I have some pearls to show you as well. Okay, what is going on now? They're having trouble streaming to Facebook. Did I lose you all on Facebook, or are you still there? Oh, Suzanne said frozen. She meant frozen on Facebook. I was thinking she meant these look like they're icy frozen. Sorry, I don't know. It is saying that I am having problems on, it is saying Facebook is having issues. And it's an issue with the destination. So I'm sorry. There are issues with Facebook now. I don't know why. I don't know if I can do anything actually about it. Let me see. Let me just check. Let me go over here to my Facebook. Sorry, everybody. Let me see what it shows me on my Facebook. Yeah, it says I'm no longer live. Let me try removing Facebook from the feed and re-adding it if they let me. Let me see if this works. Hopefully it doesn't disrupt my other one. Sandra says, why do I feel like I'm going broke? LOL. You're getting good deals, at least. Hello, Michelle. We were just talking about you, saying happy birthday. I wasn't sure if you were out there or not. I guess you're out there now. Let's see if Facebook has caught back up with us. We're back to live on Facebook again. Maybe. We just started over on Facebook. If you're with us on Facebook, welcome back, hopefully. I hope you're back. It said that the stream, that Facebook was having an issue. So hopefully that updates and we are live again out there on Facebook and people find us again. I hate when that happens because it does take a while for people to find us again. All right, speaking of sapphires, I have another sapphire strand for you. This time they are in these beautiful 6mm sapphire cubes, faceted cube shape. So 6mm faceted cubes in blue gray sapphires, only $56 before your 20% off. So you still get the 20% off of these, but you get a whole strand of the 6mm blue gray sapphire faceted cubes. It's a very interesting shape. We don't see it very often. And it's a beautiful color assortment here that you get. And this strand is a 15-inch strand. I have it marked. 15-inch strand. One strand only available of those. One strand available. Are you enjoying your birthday, Michelle? I hope so. Now, Sandra mentioned aquamarine. And what would an Allegory Gallery show be without some really nice aquamarine in the store? I don't think it would be an Allegory Gallery show. It is very nice aquamarine. It's $76 before the 20% off. And it is a very high quality 6mm faceted round aquamarine strand. Beautiful stones. You're getting a 20% discount off that price. So what, almost $15 off? Bringing it down to what, $61 somewhere in there? Really great price on that. Think of how many killer pairs of earrings you can make and what you could charge for those out of that entire strand. Hey, Lydia, good to see you here. I was just talking about you the other day with some friends. So, what about the beads you showed from Andrew's stash? Which ones? I show a lot from Andrew's stash. We show them every day. I don't know which ones you mean. We show pretty much Andrew's stash almost every day. The ones I put up on the timeline, I just showed those. Those were in Wednesday's show, I believe. Wednesday show, I think. I don't have them here though, because I'm at the store, not at the cottage today. I hope you're doing well, Lydia. I hear you've been doing a lot of traveling around, and you're trying to park it in that one spot for a moment. I was talking with Nettie. Nettie stopped up to the store the other day, and we were chatting, catching up. Sandra says, "Oh, those are insane." I hope insane in a good way. She says, "Oh la la." We've just sold the ISL 12s, so those are sold. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, Nettie and I had a good conversation. I finally got to meet her guy. It was so nice to actually meet him in person finally after all these years. We hung out for a few hours up here at the shop. ISL 14. Aren't those aquamarines wild? They're so pretty. We've got some pretty stuff, let me tell you. Sometimes I forget because up here at the store, we don't have a lot of customers yet, so I don't pull out the trays as often as I used to really inspect things. These are only $14 a strand. There are 4 strands available. If you like pink opal, these are beautiful pink opal rounds. We just sold ISL 11, one of them, the sapphires. So we've still got one of those left. Thank you so much. This is pink opal. And these are 10 millimeter pink opal rounds. Sandra says the quality is wonderful on the aqua, right? I think it's amazing. And at that price, only 76, less 20%. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're not gonna like this quality nowadays. Like these are contemporary, but they are, we brought these in probably, well, I can tell you, probably at least a few years ago, a year or two ago at least. So, that was before a lot of things really, really went. I mean, it's been since the pandemic, I'm sure, but, it's not with the extra new tariffs that are starting to happen. So that quality for that price plus 20% off is a really great deal. This is pink opal, again, 10 millimeter rounds. They're just a lovely, soft kind of stone. We've sold 2 of these 4 pink opals so far. Thank you so much. Sandra's asking, what is the size on 13? 6 millimeter. It is marked 6 millimeter. Let me check it just to verify, but it does look like a 6 millimeter. Yep, right at 6. Even with the facets, it's still just about 6 millimeter. So ISL 13, 6 millimeter aquamarine. Hey, Kim says, hi, everyone. Can't stay tonight. Have dinner plans. Bummer. Oh, no. Stay for as long as you can. Hang out with us. You can watch the replay. I am giving these 20%. I'm giving the extra 20% off all of these prices, and you can get that price all weekend long. That includes anything in the store for our live viewers. I'm not promoting that as a store sale to the outside world. I mean, I am. You are the outside world, right? But if you don't watch the lives, you're not going to know about it. So if you come into the store, you can go crazy. If you say, I saw you're doing 20% on the live, you can come into the store and get 20% off anything you buy. Or if you want to send me an email and ask me if I've got stuff, I will take a look and we'll sell it to you for 20% off. All right. I've sold one more of these, so I have only one of these left. Thank you so much. I'm really surprised this one is still available. The 9, the Brazilian Amazonite, but I'm going to put that away for now. It's only $16.25 before the discount. And those and the pink opals, look how pretty. You want to do something and get ready for Easter? You want to have that in your arsenal for Easter? Look at how pretty those are together. ISL 14, ISL 9. And let me make sure nobody's going into spam, because that has been happening. Let me make sure here. Nope, no spam since we started the live. Okay, good. Whoops, something just, let me make sure. No, okay. It's like just as I jumped out of the spam folder, it looked like something was coming in. And nobody grabbing this carnelian. Wow. I'm always, sometimes I'm amazed. Like that with carnelian spacers in between. Heading into the fall. That could be fall or spring, right? It's all right. I'm not going to force people, right? Don't force people into sales. Buy it, everybody. Buy it now. It's a good deal. All right. So ISL 11, ISL 13 is still available. I thought that was going to fly out of here, honestly. And ISL 14. I know it's a higher price, but I did think that that quality was going to win some of y'all over. Okay. And then I've got one more in this tray. Oh, I got to show them all to you. Oh, no, I can pull them apart. I'm going to show them all to you anyway because they're pretty. And they look really great as a cluster. These are $48. ISL 15, 48. Oh, I just sold 10. That's the carnelian. Thank you so much. Sometimes it just takes another view, right? And I also think maybe getting back on Facebook. Is my Facebook live now again? I had to restart the feed because there was a problem on Facebook. If you're out there in Facebook land, let me know if we're back. I think I've been getting comments on the new stuff. These are only $48. And if you liked the sapphire faceted cubes, you are going to love, how do you like that? You're going to love the fluorite faceted cubes. These are beautiful. They are $48. They are 6mm faceted cubes in fluorite, 15.25 inch strand, 15.25 inch strand. Oh, Suzanne says, yes, we're back. Good, thank you. Look at the color in this fluorite. There's yellow, like that is just stunningly beautiful. There's blues, like look at that. Colors that in fluorite you very rarely see, other than mixed in, like you see the yellow, hints of yellow through the other colors. You see a little bit of blue. These strands have them like singled out into these beautiful separated colors. That is some exquisite cutting and shaping as well. Sandra says, you never see yellow. I know, right? Like, look, yellow by itself, not yellow. You'll see yellow, but it's like blending between, turning the blue into green. You don't see yellow by itself. And I think every one of these strands has some yellow cubes on it all by themselves. And that's rare. That is rare. And so $48 a strand, 4 strands available of these. I'm going to take most of them away. I'm only going to leave one up there because I don't have a lot of room. But That is some impeccable fluorite. We were very lucky to get these strands from our vendor when we did, and at that price. And then we're giving them to you for 20% off today. So there you go. Kimberly says, those are gorgeous. They are. I can't even lie. Like, you know, we're humble with things, but those are gorgeous stones. That's just the truth of the matter. They are gorgeous stones. There's no getting around that. All right. I'm going to move this a little bit over, a little bit more, make it a little bit. I don't want to move these sapphires and these yet. I still have hopes for those that they're going to go. As more people start tuning in. We're getting more and more people tuning in here this afternoon. Thank you all for joining me. It's William here at Allegory Gallery, and we're happy to be here with you. Now I'm going to move into a few little fun charms and things that I've got here lying around. This is a smoky quartz pendant and this is $15 right now. $15. Beautiful smoky quartz. And it's a really nice smoky quartz. Really nice and clear. It's got a few little inclusions in there, but not too many. Nice little pendant. Only $15. ISL 16. This is approximately overall about 16 millimeters by 20. 16 by 20 millimeters. One pendant available, or charm, whatever you want to do. Charm, pendant, it's up to you. For those of you who like cabochons, I have a few Larimar cabochons for you coming up. The first one is $24. These are old vintage Larimar, really beautiful quality. And I do want to keep these bags separate in order. Larimar cabochon, flat-backed. You could use these to make rings if you wanted to do the metal work because they're nice and flat. That makes it easy, but you can also seed bead around them. You could put on a glue-on bail if you wanted to. You could glue them down. There's only one, and it is ISL 17, $24, not inches. Let's do millimeters on this. This is approximately 14 millimeters by 14 millimeters. 14 by 14 millimeters. Vintage Larimar cabochon. And again, just to reiterate and remind and let people know who are just joining us, all of these prices that I'm showing you, you will get the extra 20% off when I send the invoice. So you're going to get extra off with the invoice. Here's another Larimar cabochon. This one has that really nice kind of starburst pattern you get with Larimar. And it goes from like this juicy blue fading out to the white and grays. Almost it has a translucent edge. Really pretty one. Again, flat bottomed. Larimar cab. Vintage Larimar from the good times. $26. And this is, again, about 14 by just about almost 15, 14 and a half, as far as my eyesight can see. Again, cabochons, no holes. All right, no holes in those. ISL 18. All right, I'm going to move 11. We haven't sold the other 11. So we've still got one of these available if anybody wants the gray blue sapphires. And let's see here. Suzanne says, is Karina getting difficult to obtain? I'm guessing you mean Larimar. Larimar is. It's new Larimar. I don't even know if you can get, if anybody's heard any updates. There was some flooding, I think, in some of the Larimar mines, if I'm not mistaken, in the Dominican Republic. And it became, they closed completely for a while. I don't know if they still are closed completely, but all Larimar digging was, because it only comes from the Dominican Republic. And all Larimar mines at one point I had heard were completely closed and with no known opening dates. Now I have not heard since. I've seen a lot more Larimar seeming to be on the market, but I feel like it's lower quality and it's being cut from what is kind of the leftovers. Because the Larimar I'm seeing on the market right now seems to me to be a much kind of what you would call kind of more of the matrix or more of the offcuts of what we used to see in Larimar. I could be wrong. But the last thing I'd heard is there is not more Larimar being dug out at the moment. I don't know if anyone has any other updates on that or knows any more about that. Susan says, goodness, hello, I fell asleep and then had to feed the cat. Sorry I missed the beginning. I'm sorry you did too, Susan, but I'm glad you're here. I'm doing in-store items, and we're giving you 20% off all the prices listed because we're having a 20% off online sale. So if you're not on our text message list, you don't know that yet. I haven't shared it with everybody yet. But if you're on our text message list, you know that we're giving 20% off in our online store right now, off everything. So I figured I'd do a live showing some of the stuff we never get to show you in the store, or very rarely do. And I'm going to give you the discount too. And if there's anything else you want from the physical store that you've seen in a walkthrough video or anything like that, you can request it and I'll give you 20% off. Or if you're local and you're watching, you can come get 20% off. But I'm not telling everyone that we're giving 20% off here because we're not. We're only doing that for the live viewers. If you come in and say, I saw you on the live, then you can get 20% off in store. But otherwise, nope. Nope, nope. It's a secret sale. It's a secret sale. This is, I'm trying to see where this is from. This is a French franc. Yeah. Yes, it's a French franc done in a bezel set. It's $16. There's only one of these. And this would be in a brass, set in brass. $16. One of them available. French franc size, I don't know. Let's find out. This is 22 millimeters by 26 with the bail. 22 by 26. $16. ISL 18. And then I've got another coin, one last pendant here. I've got, whoops, my tag's coming off. That's how old the bag is. This is a Canadian penny done in sterling, set in sterling. Canadian penny, set in sterling, ISL 19. And this is $22 before your discount. Canadian penny. I think they got, did they get rid of the penny? I know we got rid of the penny. supposedly. We're not making any more pennies. ISL 19, $22. Soon these will be collector's items, right? All these pennies. Maybe not so soon, but 20 millimeters by 25 millimeters with the bail. One of those available. ISL 19 in sterling. Oh, we sold 18. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. That's the French franc. Sold. Let's move this up. All right. Now, I'm going to move these trays. Oh, I had another tray here. Oh, and we sold 19 too. Thank you so much. Take that away. Oops, somebody synced the wrong number. I'm deleting that for you so that I don't accidentally sell you that too. I would have probably caught that, but I always like to make sure. Better to be careful. I'm going to skip this tray for the moment, and I'm going to go right into some turquoise. For those of you who maybe are like, ooh, I heard turquoise. And man, do we have nice turquoise for you all. We once bought out a vintage vendor of turquoise, and we got what I think is an extraordinarily good deal. And so we keep offering these extraordinarily good deals to you all. These are the first batch are going to be nuggets. These are Hubei turquoise. They are stabilized, but they are not dyed. Sandra says you had 2 ISL 18. No, I do not. Nope, that's the French franc. I've only got one. Only got one. Thank you though, Sandra, for checking. ISL. Where am I at? 20. These start at $86, and when you see them, you're gonna be like, "That is cheap." William, don't give a discount on that, because these are so pretty. Oh, I had 2 number 18s. That's what you mean. Thank you. I do need to know that. I know the person that picked 18, and I bet they wanted this one. So I'm going to call this one 18A. I'm going to call that one 18A. Thank you. That's what you meant. I'm guessing the person that got 18 wanted the coin. That's my guess. But if they didn't, they can come back and say they want 18A, but I doubt it. Knowing them. All right, thank you, Sandra. That would have been messy later. Okay. So this is 20, and this is Hubei old stock, stabilized, non-dyed, turquoise nuggets. Look at the color. Look at the metallic gray. It's like real, like, I don't know if it's pyrite, but it is a metallic in there. These are amazing, amazing stones. And I have 4 strands of these only. We had a bunch of this. I've got 4 strands left of this particular size and shape and color. Susan says, I have a strand similar to 20 from a long ago AG Live. It's quite lovely, as is this one. Yeah, this is it. This is the same stash we've been working with. and they are amazing stones. We were so lucky to get them, and at that price, $86 for that quality of turquoise. These come from the Hubei mines in China. They are Chinese turquoise, but that does not mean that they are fake turquoise. A lot of times people, I would say, kind of derogatorily say Chinese turquoise and mean fake turquoise, but there is Chinese turquoise, and it comes from the Hubei mines in China, and it is stunningly beautiful turquoise. So this is what this is. If you're looking for real and nice and cheap, honestly, you've got it right there. But I'm going to go through because you're going to want to see. I would suggest I've got most of these turquoise strands. I've got more than one. You're like, unless you want to spend a lot, which I'm okay with. If you can only buy one turquoise strand today, if that's what your goal is, hold on. Don't. I'll let you know if anything's running low, but I think you're going to want to hold off for a little bit. I'm going to move these pendants and these Larimar cabs out of here just to make some room, because some of these turquoise strands are nice and large. Oh, it looks like we've got somebody tuning in from the beginning. Let me see what I'm selling. We've sold one, and also, oh, somebody tried to get 3 again, but we only had one of those. So one has also sold. Thank you so much. I don't know if they realize we're live right now still. Or maybe they're going back while I'm shuffling around. Okay. Let's see. 18A. Let's put that there like that. All right. Let's start with our turquoise row. Turquoise row. That sounds good, doesn't it? ISL 21. And next in turquoise row are these 2 strands. They are irregular turquoise tubes, and they're so much fun. I've got 2 of them available. These were super popular when they hit the floor for the first time. We sold a bunch of them, and then they've got buried ever since underneath some of the larger pieces, because we had a bunch of these. These are irregular turquoise tubes, and I just love how they kind of stack together when you use them. One strand is definitely a little bit more irregular than the other, but I think these are so beautiful. And let me try and get you a size on these. They are approximately 6 millimeter, 5 to 6 millimeter. I'm going to say 5.5, but 5 to 6 millimeter on those. Irregular turquoise tubes, $52. Says OMG turquoise irregulars, right? A lot of turquoise is irregular. I will have to say that, right? But these little tubes are kind of wild, and just how they're cut and just how they stack. Like, I love how they're irregular, which of course turquoise often is, but I love how these are still irregular, but they still stack nice. Sandra says, while the price on 21, I have paid double for that. Well, you don't have to. These are vintage. Got these from our vintage people. And now $52 each. Suzanne says, the Hubei mines still open. I believe those are. I believe the Hubei mines to still be open. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. We just sold one of the 6s, the Super 9s. I can't remember if I sold one of those before, but we've just sold. Yeah, I have. So I have one of those left only. But I believe the Hubei mines to still be open. I don't know what the prices are going to be coming out of the Chinese Hubei mines anymore. That's going to be a whole thing, but they are still open. And Sandra confirms. Let me see. I'm trying to go. I've got 2 of these left only. This is a bluer chunky. So you can see this is a green and this is a blue. I don't know if you can see the difference. There is a big difference in person. I'm hoping you can see it on camera. These are a little bit smaller also in their size of the chunk. And these are, again, old stock, stabilized. These are $70 a strand, and I've got 2 strands of these available. So these are, let me give you an up close on these. Sandra says you can see it on camera. Good. Again, lots, like look at that chunky metallic right in there. I love that. I love that about these stones. Big, big turquoise. Stabilized, non-dyed. This is real color. ISL 22. 2 strands available. Just 2. And once those are gone, we will never, ever see that before. Suzanne says, has anyone had unstabilized turquoise? We have, yes, we have had it before. You don't want it. Sometimes old jewelry has unstabilized turquoise in it. And once it gets to be of a certain age, a lot of times it starts to kind of dry out and crumble. It's very crumbly. And it turns to almost like a powder sometimes. So that's when they start to reconstitute it and mix it with resin sometimes, and you get kind of the synthetic turquoise that's mixed with resin because it has turned to a powder. It's very powdery and very brittle. ISL. Because I always, when I first started this with Andrew, I was like, what if we just got, like, why do you want the, because he's always like, you want stabilized, you want stabilized. You know, dyed is questionable whether you want that or not, as long as you know it's fine. But you definitely want stabilized. I'm like, well, what if I want the real turquoise? And then he showed me, I'm like, nope, you want stabilized for sure. We sold one of the 21s so far. Thank you so much. We still have one of them available if you're interested. And then next up, now I have a number of these ones. For some reason, these aren't as popular. I don't know why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I shouldn't say that. We just may have gotten a bunch more of these. Like I said, we bought out a whole vintage vendor at one point. And they gave us a really great deal on these vintage turquoise strands. And we priced them like we always do, nice and cheap for you all. Not trying to mark them up too much. We don't do that to y'all. Are these little, these are like a robin's egg blue. So let me show you the different colors. The 3 different colors here. You have the greener, you have the bluer, and you have like the robin's egg kind of blue. And these are ISL 23. They are $57 a strand. And they're this kind of robin's egg with that metallic sparkle. Like look at that sparkling in there. But just super duper pretty. I'm gonna put 2 of them out here on the table just to show, but there are 9 of them available. Okay. Let me see. 14. We just sold the last of 14. That was the Boy, I'm looking at it and I still can't think of the name. The pink opal. Pink opal, that's the word. Pink opal. I always forget the word opalescent, and now I'm forgetting opal. How long is which one, Suzanne? Oh, 23, $57. 23 is, I'm trying to measure this well for you. It's about a quarter of an inch shy of 16 inches. About a quarter of an inch shy, so about 15 3/4 inch strands. These are they're almost 16-inch strands. If I really measured it right, it's probably a 16-inch strand. But yeah, these are old strands. They are vintage. They are full strands generally, and they are nice. All right, the next one, the biggest strand of turquoise that I have. And this price, we've almost been able to charge this price before per stone. When we take these apart, or when we get them, actually it's not when we take them apart, it's when we get them in pieces from other people, stores we buy out and things like that. Oftentimes, so this whole strand is $125 only before the discount. But look at these beads. Like this bead here by itself is probably at least an $80 or $90 bead in most stores from most places. Let alone all these other beautiful beads on this strand. These are magnificent turquoise pieces. And if we were one of those stores that did this, I would raise the price on this strand, to be 100% honest. But we're not one of those stores that do that to people. Sandra says, that's why I love turquoise so much. It's all so different. It is. It's all so different. And these are giant, chunky beads, graduated. Diane's back. Hello, Diane. Thank you for coming back. We're still live. We're still doing the thing. We're showing the biggest, chunkiest turquoise I have right now at the lowest price you'll probably ever find it. I was talking about, this bead is probably an $80 or $90 bead by itself from most stores. We have the whole strand, $125, then you get 20% off. What am I doing? But we're not one of those stores that's gonna, change the price, right? Some stores do. And, they do what they have to do, and I don't, but we don't do that. All right, I'm going to put 20 away. I still have them, but if you're interested, I just have to make room on the board. So ISL 20 again is this more green color, turquoise in the Hubei, the larger nuggets, and that's why they're $86 for this one. Before your discount. You still get the discount on those. 20% off everything today. Even the turquoise that shouldn't be discounted. And Diane says, I went through YouTube and sent some emails. I get what I get. That's good. I think you got a number of things. Thank you. I think one or two of them were already sold out, but you did get a number of things. I appreciate that. ISL 21. We've got one of these left. These irregular tubes. One of them left at 52. And I'm going to move these down because I think I have room for the rest here, maybe. We're almost done with the tray of turquoise. So if there's something that you were waiting for, we're going to get down to the end here soon. We just sold one of the 23s. Thank you so much. Appreciate that a lot. ISL 25. These are everyone's favorites, and I have two of them left. They're the graduated turquoise discs. and they're $52 each. These were probably the biggest hit we had when we brought in all this turquoise. We had kind of a little mountain of these, and a lot of people, a lot of you out there probably still have some of these graduated turquoise discs if you've been with us for long enough. They also have the little turquoise nuggets in between each one, but these are beautiful graduated turquoise disc beads. And a lot of them have, like, what I like is a lot of them are the darker color, but they have specks of the turquoise. So we have like that one, and we have this one. This is the other one. This one may be a little bit thinner. This is more on the disc side of things. That other one has more thicker beads on it. Just depends what you like. Suzanne says, I have a strand of the graduated discs. Great. Hello, Susie. I think these are amazing. I love them so much. They have so much character to them. And like I said, each of these is different. One of them's more thin and maybe a little bit wider. Oh, we've got a ban and delete situation. There we go. Sorry about that. Somebody trying to solicit. Beautiful 2-strand only $52 each. And once those are gone, probably will never ever see those again. I haven't seen them since, and this was years ago. All right, I am running out of room again, and I've got 2 really nice strands in turquoise left to show you. So I'm going to put 22 away. 22 is the deeper blue colored nuggets on there. Let's see. Hold on. I thought I saw one of these. It was cracked. Yes. So one of these has a crack in it, and I just want, it's to show you when I say they're not dyed, like they're honestly not dyed. When you see turquoise, if you get a cracked one, and you'll see the color change on the inside. It'll be a lighter color generally. These are truly real turquoise through and through, non-dyed. All the way, color same throughout. And that's how, a lot of times that's how you can really show they're real. Especially with older stuff. Sometimes the dyeing technology is better now, but oftentimes with the old stuff, if you crack it, I mean, that's like a last resort to figure out if it's dyed, but it won't be the same color all the way through. Closer to the core, or depending on how they dyed it, there'll be a color variation. Susie says 21 is pretty, isn't it? Those irregular tubes. We sold one. Somebody jumped at one, and we still have only one left. Okay, ISL. These are my favorites coming up. ISL 26. These are magnificently beautiful strands. This one is $175. $175. And when you see it, you're going to be like, that's a bargain. It sounds big. It sounds like a big price. But when you see what you get for $175, remember, you're getting 20% off of that price too, is this long strand of beautiful green, brown, turquoise discs. And that strand is chock full of beautiful turquoise discs. Sandra says, I did that to a stone I bought from a store that I felt was dyed. They sold it as turquoise, and it was dyed howlite. See? Yeah. You really need to know. Sometimes that's the only way, is to sacrifice one of them. beautiful turquoise disc beads, $175 only for that entire strand. I'm going to get you the size of this strand. I think it's a 16-inch strand. Get my ruler out here. 12, 13, 14, 15. It is. It's a 16-inch strand. This is an old strand, vintage strand. And then I'm going to show you the other one. I've got two of these, but one is blue turquoise and one is green. This is the green in ISL 27. Make sure it's the same price. Yep, 175. ISL 27 is the blue. Suzanne says, I don't mind dyed halite or magnesite as long as the seller is upfront about it. That's right. There's nothing wrong with it as long as they're being truthful. Sandra says, I didn't want to sell this turquoise if it wasn't, so I broke it into the stone. Yeah. Yeah, you never want to be wrong. That's like we don't like to be wrong either about things. We try to do the best we can and be correct for you all. This is the blue turquoise. Susie's swooning for 26, right? And you can swoon. This one's my favorite because I like blue turquoise better than I like the green turquoise. But you never know what people like. But this is all the beautiful vintage turquoise. So these are the two of these. Let me put them together so you can see the two colors together. Look at those strands. Aren't they magnificent? And you're getting a special deal of 20% off of those today. Normally, we could not do that. That's why we don't do sales in the physical store very often, because we've got things like this that people would generally probably jump at and just wait for us to put on sale. So much goodness, says Sandra. Tough choice, says Susie. It's a tough choice if you got to make the choice, right? Some people don't have to make that choice. Some people could just grab them both. I am not one of those people. Well, I am because I bought them originally, right? Andrew and I got them, but we got a deal on them and we could not pass it up. But that was also, I think this was all pre-pandemic that we got this. So things were a little bit easier back then. And we were at the height of the store doing well when we bought all this. Okay, I don't even have a bag big enough for 24, so I'm just going to move it off to the side. And same with 25, really. Maybe it'll fit. It'll kind of fit in here. Suzanne says, would the carnelian go at 23? The carnelian, what was that? Let's see here. Carnelian was 23. Let me show you. 23 was 57. So I'll have to pull it out of the bag again. This is the color. It would go really well with that. Beautifully well, those two together. Well, it is 6 o'clock and I'm still going, but we're going to keep going because I told you I'm going to do some pearls. And I'm going to do some pearls. So let me make some room. So I don't forget two of these. Suzanne says, oh. Susan says, keep going. I'm going to keep going for a little bit. I don't want to reintroduce my headache. That's the thing. Sometimes the energy in these lives that it takes to do them. But I'm going to stand up and stretch right now. Because we're constantly head down, hunching over to do these lives. And it takes a lot. I'm going to take a drink. Stretch a little bit. That feels good. This is a reminder to everybody watching, get up and stretch. Stretch a little bit if you haven't already. It feels really good to stretch. out right now. Leave these out just for now. Okay, vintage pearls. I don't have a lot of them here. We put a lot of our vintage pearls into the online store. So that is definitely the best place to find our vintage pearls for the most part. But I do have a nice collection here of things. ISL 28. We'll go to 40 today, I think. I'm going to start with the ones that I think are the most fun, and that's the cornflake pearls. I love cornflake pearls. These are, the only ones I've got left here are the small cornflake pearls. And these are only $28 a strand. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strands left. Once these are gone, I'm not going to have more. But look how fun these are. I love using these in clusters because they give not only a unique shape when they are put together, but they break up designs and you can create patterns with the clusters of them. But they're so amazingly gorgeous. They're all a little bit different size. This one obviously is a little bit smaller strand, but they're all grouped in what we consider the small size. Your voice is breaking up. Oh no. Maybe it's going to force me to stop at 30. Hopefully not. I've had some issues with the streaming today. These are the cornflake pearls, and they are $28 a strand. Let me see if I can get you kind of a size on these. This is kind of a middle ground. And this is about 8 to 10 millimeters or so. 8 to 10 millimeters, I'd say. Some of them are definitely a little smaller. Well, overall, this one's like 6. There's some on there that are 6. So 6 to 10 millimeters, anywhere in there. But that's just the way they are. Anyone else having issues with my voice breaking up on the feed? Sandra says maybe it's just me though. It's probably the stream. We had problems with the Facebook stream earlier. It's very possible we're having issues with the streaming. I am on cellular. I don't have Wi-Fi up here. Like I said, it's very possible we'll have issues. But also just not only that, like I said, it had an issue streaming out to Facebook. So there's obviously, with our streaming partner, they're apparently having issues. These are vintage freshwater pearls, $12, ISL 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these available. You'll just have to rely on watching and looking, I guess, more than my voice if that's the issue. Because Kimberly's having the issue too. So it must be a more widespread. These are vintage pearls, vintage freshwater. Beautiful gray. These are a gray color. You can see the difference in color between kind of like the more peacocky and the gray. And then these ones are approximately, I always seem to set the ruler down the opposite way that I need it. These are about 7 millimeter. 7 millimeter pearls in gray. Only $12 a strand before the discount. Okay. This is ISL 30. These ones are only $19. Now we're getting into some exceptionally beautiful peacock pearls for cheap. And I'm just going to flat out say that I know these are amazing prices. And we priced them on purpose that way. This is the $19 strand. Have you seen pearls that beautiful for less than, because it's going to be less than $19 for all of you. Almost $15, right? Almost $4 off. Beautiful freshwater peacock pearls, $19 a strand. We call these the medium. They're about 8 to 10 millimeters. Yeah, about 8 to 10 millimeters. Kimberly says, I love the iridescent in those. Yes, it's stunning. It is stunning. We've sold 2 so far of the 29s, so we have 7 of those left only. I'm going to move the turquoise over. I don't have a bag big enough for these, so I'm just going to set them over here with their tags and hope the tags don't blow away. The color in these is exceptionally beautiful. And that's why when I say we offer the best vintage pearls for the price, I mean it. I do not believe you're going to find better pearls for the price anywhere else. This is a singular strand of these kind of double Baroque peacock. There's only one of these. Suzanne says pearls with a character, right? These ones have character. These are full of character. They're like sometimes a double pearl. Almost sometimes peanutty. Sometimes they've got a little pointy on them. They're all doubled generally in some way. Sometimes they're doubled more side to side like a heart. There's a few that look like a heart or a Mickey Mouse on there. That one looks like a Mickey Mouse for sure. And so that's one strand of those available, ISL 31. And then, let's see, I did $19 ones. The next ones are the $22 ones. I've got, oops, no, I've actually got, okay, I've gotten 2 of these. I do have 2 of 31. And then we get into these ones. Sorry, I'm just trying to sort these. I got a little mixed up in my chart. Make sure I get the right number counts here for you all. These are a slightly larger one in general than 30. They're the same shape. They're a little bit wider is all, and they are, because of that, a little bit of the size difference overall, heavier strand. We do them at $22. So ISL 32 are these, a little bit bigger, still that impeccable color. That iridescence of the peacock pearls. Like when you see peacock pearls nowadays, people are like, why are they called peacock? When you see these, you understand 100% why these were called peacock pearls. A lot of times now the pearls that they call peacock are just kind of, oops, just kind of gray. And they might have a little bit of shine, but that's a true peacock pearl right there. And if you wore these, they would even get better. Pearls are always better when they're worn. They should be worn often to keep the oils in them. They'll take your bodily oils, and that doesn't sound great, but that's what they do, and they will absorb them little by little, and you will end up making your pearls look even better. Andrew always tells the story of the pearl vendor. When he went to buy pearls, the vendor snatched the strand out of his arm, out of his hand, and rubbed it all over his face to rub his face grease, his face oils on the pearls before Andrew looked at them. Andrew was a little bit horrified and really didn't want to touch the pearls after somebody rubbed their face juices on them, but it does make the pearl luster even better. And this is the last size. These are even bigger. These ones are approximately almost 10 millimeters, but they're thick, just about 7 to 8 millimeters. These are the biggest, and there's only 2 strands of these available, and they are $24 a strand. They are a little bit, oh no, they are a little bit more, I would say almost a little bit more gray than the other 2. If you want real peacock, these 2 are a better example of that. This has a little bit more gray in it, but it still has beautiful color. So if you like the lighter, I gotta move these up. If you like the lighter colored gray ones, but you wanted more of an iridescent shine to them, those last ones are nice. Nice in between. So I think, I don't know if you can see on this one the difference in color. One's a little bit darker overall in the pearl itself. All right, so that's that. I'm just going to have to, because I can't really bag these up. I'm going to see, I've sold some 29s. I've not sold any of the others so far. So I'm just going to kind of put these back in the tray, and I'll do them by price, because all the prices are mostly different, except I have to remember that I showed the bumpy ones first. I can always replay if I have to. Showed the bumpy 22s before the smoother 22s. That's what I've got to remember. And then, for those of you who like the white or the cream pearls, I'm not leaving you out. Let's see here. What do I have? We have these ones. ISL, what number did I leave? 34. Susan says, can I see 24 up close? Which was 24? That was the big ones. These ones. 24 are these turquoise. ISL 24 are these. So this is onion 33. Oh yeah, sure. 33 are these. Beautiful. They're ringed. Most of them are a ringed pearl. And I'll show you the other strands. So you'll get one of the strands if you order them, obviously. They're so pretty. It's like an oil slick. They are so nice. All right, so those are 33. Get those out for a little bit since somebody's still looking at those. And then ISL 34 is, what am I doing? Writing the wrong thing. Wrong price. I said that's too high. These are only $24, not $34. And I just wrote it again. Y'all, I cannot. My body wants to say these are $34 pearls. So just shot a request for 33. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, we call these a larger Baroque white vintage. Larger Baroque white vintage. And these are really pretty, not too many rings on them. Some have a ring here and there, but the next ones I'm going to show you, if you like the ring pearls, I have this color in some ringed pearls. So these are ISL 34 at $24 a strand, and I've only got two strands of those only. In ISL 35, these are also $24, and I've gotten 3 strands of them. 3 strands of these. No. They're the same. No, they're not the same price either. I only got 2 strands of these. Sorry. 2 strands of these. Oh, sorry. Size on these. Size on these are about, closing one eye to measure, 8 millimeters. About 8 millimeters on those. And then I've got the ringed version at that price. These little ringed pearls. Beautiful ringed pearls. And these are about 7 millimeters. I've sold one of 34 so far. Thank you so much. There's one left. And then I have 1 strand of these ones, which I didn't even realize I had. See, sometimes it's good to go through these. It refreshes my memory on what I've got here at the store too. This is ISL 36, and these are kind of a wider shape. Almost, some of them almost turn into looking like bicones, like almost, as you go down the strand. But they're a ringed kind of wider shape instead of the ringed rounds. And there's only this one strand. They do vary in size because some of them are wider than others, but they go from about, I'd say this one is about 8 millimeters, and then some of these wider, almost really kind of double pointy beads are about 12 millimeters wide. So that's only one strand of those, ISL 36. Let's see, we just sold a 29. 29. That's one of the 12. I sold 29 before. Yes, I sold 324, 329s. So I'm going to pull those if I can. Right. One. That'll help me later, so I don't forget by tomorrow what I've done. Two. And three. Okay, thank you all so much for that. Susan's AG always has the best pearls. We try. We try. I don't know our sources for vintage pearls. I feel like I'm always worried they're going to dry up someday. But we always seem to find more from somebody who's ready to part with their collections when we start to run low. Sandra says they almost look like bullets. I know, they're so cool. They're so cool. 36 is a really cool strand. All right, and the last strand that I have in the pearls are peanut pearls. And ISL 37. I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 6 of these, and they're $26 a strand. ISL 37. And these are vintage peanuts. Vintage peanut pearls. Super cute. They look like little peanuts for sure. And they've got really good color on them. ISL 37. And these are, I'm going to do approximations for you, about 7 millimeters by 12. I'm going to say 7 by 12 millimeters on those. Vintage peanut pearls. All right. Whew. I sold one of the 34s, so I'm going to pull one of those so that I have that. Anybody else want any of these before I put them back? Because this is going to get messy. So if you know you want one of them, it'd be helpful now to grab them. I did sell a 33, so I'm going to grab that right now as well. Because these are hard to fit. Well, the 33 I can fit in a bag. 33 I can fit in a bag. That's an easier one. And 34 I can fit in a bag. Okay. Some of these will fit in the bag. That'll make it easier on me later. So those ones got 35 of them put away. Okay, now I got a few lots to get. I got 3, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I got 3 lots to get me to 40. What are y'all interested in? Gemstones again? Do you want odd-shaped gemstones? Do you want a particular kind? Do you want microfaceted? Do you want jaspers? Do you want chips? Looking behind me, I've got some larger rounds and faceted rounds. What would you like to end the day? What would you enjoy seeing or looking at? Or I could do things like Monique, or I mean anything at the shop that we've got here. We don't have to do gemstone pearl bay. It can be anything. Unusual color pearl. That is all for the pearls, Susan. Unfortunately, that is all I've got in the store for pearls. All the unusual colored ones, that all happens normally during our other lives. They don't usually make it here to the store, to be honest. So yeah, what else? What other suggestion? Sandra says I may go back to the turquoise again to decide. All right. Susie's saying Monique. Everybody want to see Monique? That's Indonesian glass. I can show that. Okay, let's show that. Here's some of our Monique. It's a little messy. I had some kids come through last week and I haven't gotten to fix it up. But I've got Monique like these. These are all $10 a strand if you're interested in any of these. If you're interested in a particular one, you can let me know and I can give it a lot number. We can do it that way. Susan says quartz. I think I've got it. I don't have much quartz. I have some. I can pull some quartz. Sanders, I really like the disc ones. The turquoise or the Monique? I'm guessing you mean the turquoise discs. Yes, I do too. Red. You mean this red or this red hiding under here? Which red, Susan? Or red quartz? I don't have any red quartz. But I have these two Moniques in red. You want the red with the blue? Or is this kind of an orangey red with white stripes? Here's a true kind of orange to show you the difference. It's pretty orange on that one. Maybe you meant this one. But it also looks red. If you want any of that ones, I can give you a lot number on those. There's also this one, which is kind of a reddy orange. Susan says, how much is the red and blue? They're all everything here is $10 a strand. Everything is $10 a strand only. And they would also get the 20% off. So $8 a strand for everything in the tray. And this is the last one of this particular one with the cross kind of design on it. Let me know if you want any of those. I'm going to go get some quartz while you're looking at the side. See if I've got any quartz. I think I do.
Angelus's great looking tray, right? Isn't it? Okay. If anybody wants to say that, let me know. I can make you up a lot number. I'm going to move this out because Susan wanted to look at some quartz. I pulled some of the more fun quartz strands that I've got. I don't have a lot of quartz here, but I do have this. This is a green tourmaline quartz. Green tourmaline quartz. And I think I'm just going to give these the last three, because I have 3 of these available, 3 different quartz strands. So I'm just going to give those the last 3 numbers. And if anyone wants any unique, you can just message me for that, or email me, for that. But I'm just going to, this will make it easy, because this is 96. So this is ISL 38, $96. Green tourmaline quartz, 10 millimeter rounds. Beautiful. Really nice tourmaline in that quartz. Turning them green from the green tourmaline. Luscious, beautiful quartz. And I have 2 of these strands available. This is the other one. Gorgeous stones. Really high end, magnificent quartz. It's been tourmalinated with green tourmaline, not black tourmaline, at 10 millimeter size. And these should be 16-inch strands, I believe. Pretty sure. Let's get the ruler going the right way. Yes, 16-inch strands. $96 before the 20% discount. And ISL 39 is some rose quartz, which is 112. These are the rose quartz large bicones. Great for making pendants out of. Let's get out of here, so my color's going white, a little bit wacky. But these are big chunks. Each one of these can be their own pendant. It's only $112. These are approximately 26 millimeters by about 15. 26 by 15 millimeters. Got the whole strand of those. And to finish off the day is my probably very favorite quartz strand. And oh, it's so nice. It's crystal quartz. It's hand cut. And it's 188 only. Hand cut crystal quartz. Beautiful stones. Magnificently beautiful. One of my favorite strands in the entire store. Hand cut crystal quartz. one available, and these are approximately 10 millimeters by 18 millimeters. So it says, OMG, you still my beating heart. That is stunning. I know, right? Look at it. It is beautiful. One strand available, 188 before the 20% discount. Oh. Susie says, I sent you an email. Thank you. I think I saw it. Was it from yesterday? I think I saw it. Susie says, is 38 about 9 to 10 millimeters? Yeah, I have it marked 10. Let me look here. Let me just remeasure it. It is, yeah, they're right on, as far as I can see, exactly 10 millimeters for 38. 10 millimeters stones. Susan says, what a great show. Everyone have a great evening and weekend. William, if you've got anything, update tomorrow. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Susan. Y'all enjoy your nights. I'm going to go home, feed the cats, do some housework, play with the cats, try and get outside before the cats are angry with me for not taking them out for the last few days. And that's it. That's what I've got going on. So thank you all so much. Have an amazing, amazing evening. Thank you for hanging out with me. And like I said, I am going to either do a D-Stash event in the D-Stash group or possibly in the Design Challenges group to try to activate more people in that group tomorrow evening, I think. As long as it all pans out. We'll see. As long as all goes to plan. So just letting you know, so y'all have that notification that I'm going to try to do that around 8 or 9 p.m. tomorrow night, either in the Design Challenges group or the D-Stash group. All right. Thank you all so much. Have an amazing night. And remember, 20% off everything in this video only through Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Once that time hits, that offer expires. And you can also get anything here in the physical store through that time. If there's something you've seen, maybe through the weekend, I'll take some pictures of stuff so that I'll start kind of posting it. And those of you who watch the lives will know why, but you get an extra 20% off of everything I'll post. Maybe we'll do something like that. All right. It's only for live viewers. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. Have an amazing evening, everybody. Bye now.